Welcome to the Global Gratitude Summit. I'm Sharon Saraga Walters.
And I'm Luann Saraga Walters. Our guest today is a true social entrepreneur. He empowers and uplifts, inspires and equips his audiences and clients to be more and give more. He's founder and executive director of EduCongo, a US-based nonprofit that's devoted to generating awareness and support to provide quality education for over 2,000 underprivileged children in the Congo. Radja lived in the Democratic Republic of Congo and came to the United States with a strong passion for cross-cultural learning and intercultural communication. He graduated from Portland State University with a degree in international affairs and now serves as a motivational speaker, coach, and guide in helping people connect to their core values for transformative leadership. Wow. Welcome, Lou. It's such a privilege and honor to have you with us on the Global Gratitude Summit.
Thank you. Thank you, Luann. Thank you, Sharon, for having me. It's truly an honor.
Well, we want to start with, you have such an interesting background. And I noticed as we were getting ready, I saw the lion behind you, which is just so powerful and present. And I wanted to just get a little bit for the audience and for us to get more of a sense of who is Lou. You know, give us a little bit of insight into your background and how you actually became passionate about cross-cultural relationships.
I very much appreciate the question. The genesis of my life is pretty much a zigzag. My father came to the United States in 1967 from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and he went from the Congo to the College of Worcester in Ohio. He was helped by Presbyterian missionaries. My mom, the smarter of the two, got a scholarship in '68 that took her from Congo to Vassar College in New York. Now, mind you, these two individuals did not know each other, and they lived 200 miles in the Congo apart, and then they had to come all the way to the United States to meet for the first time because my mom came with a group of Congolese people that included one of my dad's cousins. So my dad's cousins gets on a Greyhound bus, goes to Worcester, Ohio, brags about this foxy lady back in New York, and that's how my dad went to New York to visit, and that's how they met. So America, right from the get-go, has been, I don't know, eHarmony, Match.com. That's
Right.
what connected my parents. And so they went back to the Congo after my dad graduated from Worcester and got married, had my two older sisters, Esther and Sengu, and then they came back to the US for their advanced degrees. Now they happen to be in Boston. My older brother's born, and then I'm born. So by birth, my brother and I are the two Americans in a family of Congolese.
Wow, cool.
Less than a year after I'm born, we all moved back to the Congo, where I grew up until I was 17 and then came back to the US. So you can see the back and forth between what I call my roots, which is Africa, and then my wings, which is America. So the cross-cultural understanding of both sides, the duality, the culture differences, and yet similar, that's been part of my life since the beginning. So that's where my passion for cross-cultural learning and understanding comes from.
That's wonderful. And I think that gives you such a very special and unique insight. I know we're going to talk about quite a bit during this conversation that we have with you today, but wow, I love your background, the richness of it, how you've actually pulled the essence of it into your work and into your message and what you're doing. And I think that's going to lead us to Sharon's first question for you.
And thank you. I love what you shared about your roots and your wings.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard that before. That's beautiful. So you teach about the I am because we are philosophy.
Yes.
Tell us what that is and what is Ubuntu?
Oh, thank you. Ubuntu. I want to say it again. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Zulu word from South Africa, that speaks to the essence of being human, being human. It basically says that my humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be humans together. I am because we are. So in other words, it's our shared and common humanity. For me to win, you have to win. And for you to win, I have to win. This is nothing more than interdependence. Interdependence. In other words, none of us wins or loses in isolation. The idea is all of us have a shared responsibility. All of us have shared success. In other words, a human being cannot be a person without others. It just can't. And just think about how we all came on this earth. The thought of two people coming together to create one of us. I learned how to be human watching other people. I learned how to be human observing other people. So the way my grandfather puts it, if you see yourself in all, and if you see all in yourself, then you're truly living by the principle of Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is nothing more than our common humanity, that unbreakable umbilical cord that ties all of us together. I don't care where you are, where you come from. Before any labels that this society loves to give us, we're first human. We're first human. That's it.
You know, that's funny because he says that's it. That but that is huge.
Yes.
That is so huge. And I love the example that you gave of, you know, two people coming together to create another human, and everything that we do. And if we think about ourselves, who we are right at this minute, we are a collection of the experiences that we've had with our relationships with how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in our lifetimes has made us who we are today. And that philosophy, gosh, I just wish, I wish that was more prevalent. You know, how do we, that's part of why we're doing the Global Gratitude Summit, is to try to collect these wonderful heart-spoken ideas and to get them out there so that more people can grasp onto that. I think a lot of people may completely understand the concept of Ubuntu, but have never heard the word.
Right, right.
It's beautiful. So how do we practice Ubuntu from a standpoint of gratitude in this mix of diversity? You know, we say intercultural because that implies many cultures. How do we put this practice to work? What does that look like?
Right. I think gratitude is a foundational virtue. Just think about the odds of us even being alive, right? Think about that speck connecting with the egg to create you, to create me. So that's 400 trillion to 1. I mean, those are the odds, right? 400 trillion to 1 for me to even be alive, for you to even be alive, right? So the very genesis of our lives comes from a place of gratitude because it took others to bring us to this life, right? It took others to raise us. It took others for us to learn from. So right from the get-go, when we are born, we start with what? Dependence. We are born dependent of others, adults, grandparents, parents, siblings, aunts, friends, you name it, right? And then we develop independence, and then we develop interdependence. But the first part of life is dependence. This is where gratitude comes from. This is where you have to appreciate that the very fact that you're still here, it took other people to ensure that, right? Because if you look at kids, I mean, kids everywhere, they're a little out there. I mean, they want to jump on the deep end of the pool. They want to touch the electrical socket. They want to put themselves at risk. So the fact that we're still here, chances are other people stepped in. So therefore, there is this concept of I is completely flawed because it's always we. At the end of the day, I did not get here by myself. You did not get there by yourself. And so I know we love iPads, we love iPhones, we love iMacs, but I think it's collective. I think it's always going to be about the collective. So gratitude is a foundational virtue when it comes to Ubuntu because it puts the appreciation on those who helped us become who we are. And then now that we have the opportunity, the ability to contribute, we give back. That's the best way to live in a state of thanksgiving, and appreciation of others. So that applies to how we treat our neighbors, how we see ourselves in others, how we don't believe in us versus them, because it's always the collective. The idea of seeing yourself in others and vice versa, that's part of everyday living. It's not an intellectual concept. It's weaved in the fabric of being human. It's in everything we do. So I don't want it to be a concept that people just understand intellectually. It has to be part of our day-to-day existence.
You know, you work with coaches, or you coach leaders in transformative leadership and whatnot, and I would imagine that this philosophy is integral to their transformative leadership practice.
Absolutely. In Africa, we say if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with others, right? So the idea of Ubuntu, the idea of the collective, that helps all of us. That helps all of us. If you want to be an effective leader, it's best to lead together. Many hands make light work. So the idea is, how do we get the best out of everyone? So if you look at, for instance, genetic studies show us that we are 99.9999999 the same. But think about all the angst and the troubles that we go through based on our small, tiny differences, right? Someone's color of their skin, someone's eye color, someone's shape and size, someone's sexual orientation, someone's gender. We waste so much time and miss out in our humanity just focusing on our differences, when in reality, we're 99.9 the same. Imagine you were running a business where 99.9 of your resources was devoted to that 0.1. You would be out of business in no time, right? So the idea of being human is recognizing that. So if you're a leader, if you have the privilege to lead others, the best form of leadership is leading together. It's not about you being a hero. It's about everyone bringing their best voice, because I don't care who you are, the collective genius is always greater than our own.
You know, your speaking today really reminds me that gratitude, even though it's an individual practice, it is a collective body of work. In other words, we're grateful for ourselves, we're grateful for things within ourselves, but a lot of that is a mirror reflection or somehow tied to all of those around us. And similarly with the leadership or the business that's wanting to succeed or become better or evolve, we have to look to that other than to make that magical. What is that? It reminds me of the me that's mirrored on the water, and it's the we that Sharon loves that, you know, so you see me and then upside down, it's the we, because that is the reflection of who we really are. That's fabulous. And so speaking to that gratitude, being reminded daily to look for those things that we can be grateful for, to pull in that I am because we are philosophy and practice. That's beautiful, Lou. I love that.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, Sharon's on to the next.
And thank you for saying the me we reflection. I was thinking about the entire time.
I know.
Talking, so
Well, that's why we're Team Saraga Walters.
That's awesome.
So, Lou, I've heard you talk about the 7 levels of gratitude. Can you please go through those with us?
Oh, gladly. Absolutely. Gratitude, as I mentioned earlier, is, of all the virtues out there, gratitude is so foundational, right? Living in a state of thanksgiving is so fulfilling, and it makes life something that you wake up every day with joy, gratitude, and basically bring your best version every single day. And I broke it down in 7 levels. And level 1 is the feeling of gratitude. In other words, counting your blessings every day. I love journals. So I'm always bookending my day. So in the beginning of the day, I write the things that I'm grateful for, but also why I'm grateful for them. So I'm just not listing them. I'm also talking about why I'm grateful for them. And that sets the tone for the day. And then at the end of the day, I reflect, same thing. What happened? What took place? Who did I meet? And how did I feel? And all of the connections that were made throughout the day. That way, I get from the day versus getting through the day, right? Most people get through the day and they don't get from the day, right? And so that mindset of feeling gratitude is essential. That's level 1. Level 2 is the expression of gratitude. See, feeling gratitude and not expressing it, it's like a beautifully wrapped present that no one can open, right? It's frustrating, right? So taking every opportunity you have to express gratitude. Don't just feel it, share it with the world. So I don't care if it's someone at the gas station, someone that held the door for you, someone that let you in traffic, someone that called you and checked on you, someone that stopped by the office, you name it. Find every reason to say the words, thank you, or in French, merci, or in Swahili, asante, or in Spanish, gracias. Find any reason to say the words, thank you. So that's level 2, the expression of gratitude. Level 3 is reciprocity. Finding a way to return the favor. Return the favor. I'm not talking tit for tat. I'm talking you finding another opportunity to show gratitude to wherever the blessing came from. So that's level 2, reciprocate. Level 4 is to pay it forward. Luann, Sharon, we are meant to be rivers, not reservoirs. We are meant to be rivers. So the idea is anytime blessings come to us, it has to go through us to others. So this is not a matter of who deserves it or who earned it or who worked for it. Give for the sake of giving, right? Because there's so many things that we receive that we had nothing to do with. I was born in Boston, which gave me an American passport, which opened so many doors for me. I had nothing to do with it. I had absolutely nothing to do with it because my own siblings had to wait 12 years just to get a visa. And so just to think about it, right? We sometimes receive blessings and we had nothing to do with it. So why would I stop the flow of giving with me, right? So level 4 is about paying it forward. Level 5 is earning the gift, one of my most favorite of the 7. Because what you don't want is to make the giver have buyer's remorse, right? The idea is being the kind of person that would make the giver feel proud, feel excited about the gift that they directed your way. I'll give you an example. If someone wrote a check for me to attend college, to give me a scholarship, the best way to say thank you is to get A's and B's, right? Because that would make the giver feel like that investment was worth it. That investment was the right move because the person is making the best of it. So this is really about our character. It's about our integrity. It's about us living the kind of life that makes whoever the giver is feel like it has a pretty big ROI, right? So that's level 5. Level 6 is teaching gratitude. Teaching gratitude. Sometimes we think gratitude is an organic thing that people just pick up. No, it's not. In fact, I learned it the hard way. It was my son's 5th birthday, and about 20 of his friends come to our house and we're celebrating his birthday. And Luann, Sharon, now it's time to open gifts. Oh, the horror, the absolute horror, because here's what happened. My son was opening gifts so fast and was unimpressed with many of the gifts. And my wife and I are going, oh my God, right? I mean, here we are. And of course, we're trying to overcompensate for him. And we're saying things like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, he wanted that. And we're talking to the parents. And it's going on. And it was one of my worst days as a parent, because when everybody left, I shut the door and I was talking to my wife and I said, I failed him, right? I failed him as a parent, because the gratitude feel that I have, I can now trace and remember how my father and my mother made sure I felt those things, right? So there's an element of teaching gratitude and not just expecting it. And let me tell you, since that day, oh my goodness, since that day in our household, gratitude on steroids, okay? So we just went crazy about it and helped our kids write thank you letters, call back their friends, go stop by and help. I mean, everything we could just to remind them that they should never take anything for granted, anything, including the breath that they're experiencing. So that's level 6, teaching gratitude. And then lastly, level 7 is to build on it. Gratitude is foundational, right? When you build a building, first you go down to get a foundation so that you can actually start stacking up these floors. And gratitude as a virtue is your best foundation for anything positive above. I'll give you an example. Can you truly be happy without being grateful? I don't think so. Can you truly sustain joy without gratitude? I don't think so. Can you truly empathize with others without appreciation of them? I don't think so. So gratitude is key in terms of a foundational virtue to add anything positive you want on top of it, right? And so that's level 7. So first level is to feel it. Second level is to express it. Third level is to reciprocate. Fourth level is to pay it forward. Fifth level is to earn it. Sixth level is to teach it. And seventh level is to build on it. Those are the 7 levels of gratitude.
That's beautiful. Wow. That alone is like a massive sermon. I love that.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed the rivers, not reservoirs. That's a great metaphor for just keeping that in mind. And the other thing that you were just talking about too is how gratitude is at the basis of joy. Gratitude is the basis of, and it's also something that Sharon said recently in a talk with another speaker. You can't be grateful and angry. You can't be grateful and sad. Well, sad possibly, but it's interesting because gratitude so fills up that space and moves you towards that positive emotion. Thank you for your 7 levels of gratitude, Lou.
Absolutely.
Really good. We wanted to give you a little bit of time too to talk about, because your nonprofit is really a poignant and purposeful organization, Edu Congo.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and what you're doing in helping to educate the 2,000 children or more in the Congo.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to share and make a deposit into the consciousness of your listeners, and for you guys to create this platform for us to share our own experiences. So Luann, Sharon, thank you for what you do. As you know, one of the biggest challenge we have worldwide, not just the Congo, but anywhere on this planet, is the gap between where we are and where we could be. In other words, unrealized potential. This is the number one human tragedy, no matter where you go on this planet, unrealized potential, right? Everyone, I don't care if you're in China, Congo, United States, Brazil, everyone has an organic brilliance. So talents and gifts are universal, but opportunity is not. So you have all of these brilliant, organic children all over the world who are just waiting for a chance, looking for a chance, chasing a chance to showcase their talents, to showcase their gifts. The Congo is one of those places where you have amazing, organic, brilliant people without a lot of opportunities. And so education was a no-brainer for us to focus on, because that's what gave my dad, that's what gave my mom, that's what gave us an opportunity to realize our potential. So that's why we wanted to start a school serving underprivileged children from kindergarten all the way to high school. Here's the way my father puts it. When you take the elevator to the top, always send it back down for someone else, right? So we were blessed through education. And so it's natural for us to go back and do the exact same thing to provide opportunities for others, because we've been benefiting from it. So in 2002, we built a school. We had 198 boys and girls. And here we are 17 years later, over 2,000 kids and a clinic adjacent to the school. And then here in Portland, Oregon, I started a nonprofit called Edu Congo to support the school, to connect global citizens all over the place and see what's happening on the ground, exchange best practices, ideas, and help these young folks flourish. I'm really excited about the opportunities that we bring, but I also know that it's going to take all of us to make it happen, because many of us have we're missing out. In other words, we're missing out on these would have been Einsteins, would have been Mother Teresa's, would have been Nelson Mandela's, right? We just don't know. If they don't have a platform, how will we know? The kid might have the cure for cancer, but we will never know if he or she does not attend school or have a platform to showcase what they have organically. So that's what the concept is. That's what we feel education provides. And that's the work that we've been doing both in the Congo and here through our nonprofit, Edu Congo.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for what you're doing with that. That's
Absolutely.
Just what a beautiful organization, mission, and purpose that is.
Thank you.
All right, we're wrapping up our talk, and it always amazes us because these just go so fast. And we feel like we'd love to sit here and talk with you for another 3 hours, and we can't. So we have one last question that we would like to propose.
Yeah. Right. And so, Lou, we're curious. What is your personal definition of gratitude?
Thank you for that question. Is life in a constant state of thanksgiving. That's all it is to me. Life in a constant state of thanksgiving, regardless of what's coming our way, right? And I'm thankful for the rain. I'm thankful for the sunshine, right? Because life, brings us all sorts of things, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's easy to be grateful when things are going well. It's a lot more challenging to be grateful when things are not. So that, to me, is the ultimate test. If I can smile, if I can dance in the middle of the rain, then I know I'm good. Then I know I can appreciate even more of the good stuff. So gratitude is incredibly personal, and it is life in a constant state of thanksgiving.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. It's just such a joy. It was amazing because, and I should give a shout out to Michelle Joy for having you on her podcast. Sharon listened to it. She came into the room in the morning. She said, "You've got to hear this guy. He's amazing." So thank you for just being so willing to jump onto the second annual Global Gratitude Summit with us.
And I just love, you transformed us, and I know me, just in this conversation. Yeah. And can I just say that you look fabulous in your gratitude on steroids. Just fabulous. I love that.
Thank you.
And all that you're doing.
Thank you.
All that you're doing in the world. It just truly is an honor to meet you and for others to hear what you have to share. It's beautiful. Thank you.
So we say to you in Swahili, I think I got this, asante.
Asante, indeed. Luann, Sharon, thank you so much for the opportunity, and to your tribe out there, it's been a pleasure having this conversation. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lou.